Have you done one in person yet?
We've done one, but it wasn't posted yet.
Okay, I was gonna
We'll
say I didn't
post
think
them
I.
here in probably a couple weeks.
I was gonna say I didn't think I saw a live one.
Yeah. So this is going to be the very first live interview.
Whoop whoop.
And with that being said, I just want to say, welcome back to TIW One Tap, everyone. I am Mason,
I'm Danny.
aka Big Sexy. This is our weekly podcast where we interview locals, historians, and musicians that come through the building. And this week we have Kat Thompson with the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I hope it's going to be an exciting show. I'm not a musician or historian, but my name's Kat Thompson. I am the Membership and Education Manager at the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm just a big cheerleader for this area. So I am involved in a lot of things, and I love to talk about great things happening here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, and welcome to Titusville.
Yeah, back in my hometown. So I actually grew up in the suburbs of Titusville, and for those that aren't familiar with Titusville, might not know that's a joke. I don't think Titusville has any suburbs technically.
Pleasantville and Hightown.
Well, Hightown is where I grew up outside of Hightown at the bottom of a dirt road. So yeah, I'm very connected to this area. This particular building, in fact, I have some connections to, which maybe we'll talk about. But my family, is still in the area. My sister lives here in Titusville. My family has a business here, so I love being in Titusville.
We're quickly interrupting this episode with Kat to bring you the Foreigner Tribute Blue Morning. We have Anthony and Roger here today to let you know a little bit about the show. They are going to be here this Saturday at the Titusville Ironworks. Tickets are still available. You can get them at titusvilleironworks.com, or you can get them the day of the show, but the tickets will be $5 more. So make sure you go online today. It's Friday when this is posted. You can still go up to titusvilleironworks.com, save $5, and we hope to see you here this Saturday. But Anthony, Roger, do you want to introduce yourselves and give us a little info about the show?
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. I'm Anthony Brown. I'm the keyboardist. And
I am Roger Christopherson, the bassist.
we do quite a bit of Foreigner, but we do throw in a splash of other killer classics we call Foreigner Radio, and it's really taken off. People love the extra songs that we do, and we could talk about the sets whenever. But yeah, we've been playing for a while. COVID kind of hit us and kind of took us out of the picture. I think most entertainment was hurting from that. We were just building our momentum up, and so now we're kind of back. It's been pretty good. We just played out Michigan 2 weeks ago, and so we're kind of we're all over the place. So
perfect. Well, we are very, very excited to have you guys in the house, and I think Titusville especially has been loving a lot of the tribute shows we've been having in the Titusville Ironworks. Is there anything special about playing Foreigner music that you would want to talk about really quick?
I think it's well balanced instrument wise, like between the really guitar driven stuff, but there's some big keyboard stuff, great harmonies that we love singing.
There's a little embellishing that goes on.
Yeah, we definitely add our own little flavor to it, kind of modernize it a little bit, but it's great vocals, great music, great songwriters. I think they were just introduced into
They were just nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so they're
and they're in the Writing Hall of Fame or something. So
awesome. I personally love Foreigner, so I am very excited for Saturday. And if you are coming out to the show this Saturday, we have an opening act. It's going to be Jeff Powell of Lawyers, Guns, and Money. So he'll be playing from 5:30 to 7:30. And Blue Morning will be performing from 8 to 11.
Yes.
So that is going to be very, very fun. You're going to get a full night of entertainment. And you guys do a little bit more than just Foreigner. You were just telling me you splash in some cool little side things.
Like Anthony was saying, we like to call it Foreigner Radio. Our singer came up with that, and that's describes it perfectly. It's like if you were going to go out and watch Foreigner, what other band would go great with Foreigner? What other bands have played with them? What style would go with them? And we tried to not to pick the songs that everybody else does. We try to pick some I can't believe they're doing that song
Yeah.
type of reaction.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't want to get the same song everybody else is doing. So we try to
Yeah.
pick some
So
surprising ones.
you'll get a taste of like Styx, Boston, Led Zeppelin, Floyd. Gosh, what else? Gosh, do I have any of these? Oh, Jane. We
Oh,
did
yeah.
Jane,
Jane.
yeah. And then some other, ones that people just like. We did. We won't be doing it this week, but we did a Duran Duran song that everybody just loved. It's just rare to see it, and we really beef them up.
That's cool,
So-
That
man.
is awesome.
So, yeah, it's a good balance. The majority is foreigner, but we do have a good, probably about 11 tracks of other stuff outside of foreigner.
Awesome.
Yeah, can't wait to hear you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Well,
Just
thank
get-
you guys so much for stopping in on the show today. We can't wait to see you on Saturday. Again, tickets for this show are available on TitusvilleIronworks.com. They'll also be available at the door. They're $5 more, so get them on online ahead of the show. And yeah, let's listen to some awesome music of Foreigner. Back to Kat. Yeah, we're super happy to have you on, Kat. So thanks so much for making the trek here today. Yeah. So we do have a lot of cool things we want to talk about today. But Danny, I know you wanted to start off with a question here.
Yeah. So you're very involved with the leadership and education programs at the Chamber. Mm-hmm. Could you talk a little more about your Flex program and Venango Ready?
Yeah, absolutely. So the joke in chamber world, if you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber. So we're all very different in how we operate. So at the Venango Chamber, we have a lot of programs, and that's actually how I got connected with the chamber. I was involved in Flex, that's our young professionals group. So suggested 40 and under, so hopefully they won't be kicking me out soon. But there's still a lot of ways for the whole community to get involved with those programs. But we have the young professionals group where we have opportunities to network, get to know each other, volunteer. We have some professional development. We have a leadership team for Flex. So I'm a past president of Flex. So you get a lot of experience working on some skills like public speaking and running meetings and event planning and asking for sponsorships, which is a great part of my job. What I do now is, ask people to give us money to be members of the chamber. So I've got a lot of great skills that I built with Flex and made a lot of really great connections through there. I did the leadership program through the chamber. We have a 9-month leadership program. You might have heard of similar ones, in different areas, but we brought that to the Venango area. I think we're in our 6th year of the leadership class. So I took that class, and that's for anybody just wanting to, be a better leader and connect more with peers and the region. So I did the leadership class, and then we also have a program, Be Here Venango, and I went through the ambassador program through that. So I really got to know the chamber, and when they decided to hire full-time for the Venango Ready program, they're like, what about Kat? And I said, absolutely. I had already, gotten to know them. I had built great relationships with the chamber. So I went on full-time in 2021. So I managed the Venango Ready program, which it's a career readiness program. We partner with local schools, including Titusville School District. So I'll be back here in, I say back here, it's, I live in Oil City. It's not that far away. I come here all the time. My sister lives here.
Quite the 20-minute drive you got going there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just enough time to listen to a great podcast from the On Tap. But I'll be back talking to the school at their career day, about the program. But yeah, Venango Ready, it's a career readiness program. So as a chamber, we have businesses who are members. We're hearing from them. They need, good employees that have a certain set of skills. And so with our program, we talk to students and teachers about things like work ethic, communication, teamwork. I could name all of them. There's 6 of them. But we're telling them the importance of that to be successful in the future. So so we have a list of criteria. Students can complete that. We certify them. We give them a cord at graduation. And most importantly, we stay connected to the alumni. We have about 100 students who have gone through the program over the last 2 years. Last year, we had 7 schools participating based from our VOTEC in Oil City, the sending school. So that includes Forest and Titusville, and then the schools in Venango County, including one of the private schools. We're talking to students about those things, trying to get them connected to local employers, and that's part of what I do is helping to connect educators and employers. So I could talk to you for hours about that. Probably nobody wants that, but it's great to work with the schools and show students what kind of amazing opportunities there are here, because there are so many. There's great jobs here. There's great things to do. There's cool places to go on the weekend, like the Titusville Ironworks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And actually, something I think not enough people around the area know is that VOTEC is a thing that is available. Yeah. And I find that so cool that you can go in for anything from dental to hairstyling to working on vehicles. So if you are from the area and you want to check that out, Kat, is there somewhere where they could go and find either more information about the Flex program or how they could get involved in any way?
Yeah, so on our chamber website, it hosts our program, so venangochamber.org. VenangoReady.org takes you directly to that program. I think we have a flexvenango.org, but you can definitely get there through our website. Follow Flex on Facebook to see what's going on. And then, a big part of what we do at the chambers, we make connections. We just doing it today. Hey, we were talking with the new director at the YMCA and making some connections there, and had a bookkeeper and making connections for them. So we play matchmaker a lot with businesses, and so we're happy to do that. If people call in, if there's something particular they're looking for, we can usually find it. We know somebody, or we know somebody who knows somebody. So Bob Moore from the VOTAC is on my education committee, so I talk with him a lot about connecting whether it's students or businesses to the VOTEC programs. They're awesome. They do great things. They just got a few gold medals at the state Skills USA. Some of our local students went to Hershey and brought back some gold medals, and will be going on to the national competition in Atlanta. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So changing it up here a little bit.
Sure.
We're going to talk about something right here in Titusville's backyard, really. So you are on the board with Friends of Oil Creek State Park, correct?
Yeah, I am.
So can you explain a little bit about what that is and what your connection and love for Oil Creek State Park is?
Yeah, sure. So I'm on the board of Friends of Oil Creek State Park. And so there's a lot of different Friends groups. There's a Friends of Drake Well, there's Friends of the Library. So Friends groups exist to really support a cause or an organization. So in our case, our Friends group supports the efforts of Oil Creek State Park. There's the Over the Hill Gang, who's a group of, it's in the name, so I can say it, over the hill folks who, maybe are retired, but gosh, they could outwork me any day. They're out there doing trail maintenance. A lot of the little bridges that you might walk across on the trail or the steps, they build those. They do a lot of trail maintenance, so we support them. Sometimes they need, equipment or, different materials. So, we can financially support them and the great work that they're doing. We've had some events in the past, like Chicks in the Sticks and the Summer Biathlon. There's some changes in the park right now, some construction. So we're holding off on those events this year, but we're looking to, add different events in the park. But we have the Wildflower Butterfly Garden that we helped fund and support through there. So there's lots of good things happening in Oil Creek State Park. And so we exist to support the park and the staff and some of the things happening there. So I personally, I love to be outside. I grew up in Hightown in the hills, right? In the trees, climbing trees and, playing in the creek, that CREEK creek, right? So you can tell, I grew up here. But I love, we're so lucky in this region to have such beautiful trails and waterways and parks and rich history. So I just wanted to get involved in something that I really care about. I love to be outside. I was just out on the trail yesterday, a friend of mine was asking me, if I have perfect weather to go out tonight, and he might go running tomorrow. I said, you probably need a paddle, maybe take a kayak with you to do that. But gosh, it's still beautiful. There's so many waterfalls, so it's a great time there to go check out the waterfalls. But I just love nature and being outside, and there's great things happening there. So I'm
I want to give a little shout out too, because we have some events here that kind of correlate with Oil Creek State Park. We have the Roughneck Gravel Rubo by Adam Diem, who you guys will see on the podcast soon. We haven't told him yet, but we're going to tie him up and bring him on, even if he doesn't want to. I
actually was talking to him the other day. So they're a member, his organization's a member. And I was saying, I'm going to do that podcast. You ought to go do that. He's like, Perfect. Oh yeah, I probably will. Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome.
Glad to hear that. We love Adam. Adam's a great guy.
Yeah, that's coming up. Memorial Day
weekend. Yeah, that's Saturday.
Yeah, we hold events here for the Oil Creek 100, the 5 and 13 stacked race. We do pretty much anything that is a big race down there. We always try to have an event here at the Ironworks for. So if you are in town for one of those races, make sure you stop into the Ironworks and say hello to us, because we will most likely be open with our delicious food and our ice cold beverages that you need after you run 100 miles. So
well, actually, I'm a little upset with you guys because I'm signed up for the stacked race. So my friend Rebecca, who I'm training with, she's doing the 5 and 13. So if you're really good at math, you'll figure out that's 18 miles. That's a little too rich for my taste. I'm only doing the 13. But emo night, the next emo night is the night before the race.
Well, you're going to be running all hungover, I guess, Kat.
I'm going to be danced out. So you're supposed to take it easy, right? But I got 25,000 steps on my Fitbit at the last emo night. So I'm going to have to take it easy a little bit, because I got to get up in the morning and do the 13 mile. Well, and if you're not familiar with Girard Trail, which is where that race goes, it is uphill both ways. So it's along the ridge. So you follow, you go up, and then you're up and down and up and down. You got to come across the creek, go up again, up and down, up and down. So I wish it was after, but I'm here for it. I'm excited about it.
We will wish you luck. I'll make sure you get a water on your way out of the building.
Thank you.
Are you going to perform that night?
Probably. I think there's talks. I'm not going to say anything yet, but
you'll get up there for a couple songs.
That'll be great. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm friends with the band. Count the Years. We're excited to see that emo continue. So.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And if you guys are confused listening, the band Hannah was the name of the band that was hosting the emo night in the past, but the band is now called Count the Years that is doing the emo night. So same vibe, a couple different people, I believe.
Yeah, some of the same people, some new folks, but it's going to be great. And I got to see you sing, Mason. That was the first time I saw you sing the last show for the band Hannah. You got up kind of spur of the moment and we're laying down some. As an elder emo, I was impressed. So yeah,
I always blame those nights on Bob, because I'll be working and he's like, go get the bartender up on stage. I'm like, all right, here we go again.
It's hilarious. Awesome. Your dad will be sitting there and he's kind of tuned in and he's like in tears. I'm like, what are you doing here? Yeah. I love when my boy plays.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love it.
It was awesome.
So speaking of the building, actually, kind of a connection to this building, your family not only is currently part of, but started Grand Valley Manufacturing, correct?
Correct. So my grandfather and his family, so my great-grandpa, my great-uncles, started Grand Valley Manufacturing in the borough of Grand Valley. I don't know what it's township, but don't blink, you'll miss it. But just outside of Titusville.
You would think the guy that works for PennDOT would know if it's a town or borough.
It's a quick through.
It's a quick through, but hey, it birthed a large manufacturer. So my grandpa moved that from, I think it was his dad's garage, into the building. I think it's attached in places. Is it attached in places?
Then I think they have the building right by the Carter Field too.
Yeah, they're over there now. But when he brought it to Titusville, it was in this building right behind us. So my grandpa, Dick Ewing, had an office back there, like on the Washington Street entrance. And then my dad also had a little machine shop kind of within Grand Valley, a tool and die. And his office was literally right on the other side of where I parked to come in here, just on that little inlet. There's a little bay there. and you can see my dad's office, the windows right there. So every now and then after I'm on my way home after a night at Ironworks, I'll walk back there a little bit and reminisce, because my sister and I used to get dropped off at McDonald's, and we walk over here and wait in my dad's office, and might walk through the shop to go see my grandpa and pick up some of the shiny chips that I liked, the little shavings of metal. So yeah, I feel a little bit nostalgic here, already with all of the history that you have here, the old signs and everything. And then just physically where the building is, I have a lot of great memories, right here. So it's really special to come back here. But then I think it was in 2007, when they sold part of, the company, they moved over now. So now they're over there by the football field. They have a couple of plants, over there, but my uncle's now running the business. My mom is retired. GVM retired. She only works a couple days a week now, but she's still part owner along with my aunt as well. So still have a lot of connections to that and to manufacturing. But yeah, it's really special to come here because, I kind of grew up here. I always say I grew up in a machine shop, and it was right there.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you really walk back the row there, and if you haven't been here, you will probably have a hard time understanding what I'm talking about, and that's to the audience. But it is actually hard to fathom the size of this complex that stretches. So what the original Ironworks was unbelievable. It's probably 4 city blocks, I would say, in total. So it is very, very cool. And I've been trying to find a good photo of the original complex to post online. So if I can dig it up, I'll put it here in the podcast so everyone can kind of see what I'm talking about. And maybe I'll have you point out where the original shop was, and I can put a little arrow to it so people can see.
Yeah, that'd be great. Spent a lot of time there, and worked there off and on, even when it was still over here, in high school and summers from college. And so I've got a lot of good memories and attached to this building.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Mason has traveled all over the world, and I heard you've traveled quite a bit of places. What made you come back here?
That's a great question. I love talking about this area. I always tell people I'm here on purpose, because so many people, they want to poo-poo the area a little bit.
You kind of stole my line there too.
Did I? Okay, yeah. So see, same situation then too, because people love to complain and kind of get into their routines. But I've traveled fairly extensively. I went to school in Michigan. I've traveled across the country several times, doing lots of big road trips, and I was a tour leader for a minute, and driving a 15-passenger van and trailer across the country with international passengers. My name's Kat. I've lived many of my 9 lives. That was one of them. I lived in China, taught at a university there. I've traveled.
That's crazy.
Traveled all over.
Do you have one good China story?
So the university where we taught at, there were a lot. I have so many good stories. It's hard to pick one, but here, that's just what popped in my mind. So that's what I'm going to go with. But the university had us perform. There were about 100 foreign teachers there, mostly from the U.S. So they always were doing some kind of performance, so they would get the teachers involved, which luckily for them found out we had a very enthusiastic group the years that I were there that were very into dance. So we performed on live TV for their CUBA, Cuba, right? Chinese University Basketball Association. We were on live TV doing like a jock jams kind of dance, running out, so that was we did lots of other performances though. We did some Michael Jackson. We did Beat It. We did The Darkness, I believe, in a thing called Love. It was part of Culture Week. We did choreographed this whole the play with all these dances where the heroes and the villains, and the answer was love, right? Was how the heroes turned the villains into heroes, and we did a dance to The Darkness, I believe, in a thing called Love. So I have performed in front of thousands of Chinese students. Probably could find some of those on YouTube, unfortunately.
we're gonna be looking it up later.
Yeah, did a little fire dancing one time. I was the princess of Thailand in one of our plays, and did a little fire dancing with, with the poi that you swing around. So that was another one of my 9 lives that I've lived. But doing performances with my friends. I mean, we just had a great time. Just having
That's
fun
fascinating.
and making
That's
stuff
awesome.
up. Yeah.
Very cool. So you've done all that.
Yeah.
And now
I'm back.
What led you actually back to Titusville? Was it specifically to come back and be a part of the area and get involved, or did you just want to be back in general?
Yeah, well, there was a lot to it, those years. So it was 2007 to 2010 when I lived in China, and I missed out on a lot. Missed some funerals, some weddings, some births, and I wanted to come back and be close to my family. So that was really what spurred me to come back stateside. And I looked around at where I wanted to live. I have a lot of family up in the Northeast Erie area, but can't do those winters. That's totally different than our winters. But more importantly, so I wanted to be close to family. I wanted to be close to my grandparents were still living, and I wanted to spend that time with them. But when I was looking around at where I wanted to live and what I wanted to do, because I didn't have to be, right back in the oil region. I could have gone, close by. The problems are the problems, no matter where you are, right? I mean, we connect with chambers across the state, across the country. The problems are the problems. But what I was looking for is who's working on solutions. And I saw so many organizations here, economic development, workforce development, what I consider community development with the chamber. There were people working on solutions, and I wanted to be part of that. So that's why I chose to, buy my house. So in 2015 is when I really, put down roots, bought a house, got a mortgage, the grown-up stuff. And that's in Oil City. And I saw all the incredible organizations that were working together. I saw my boss, Susan Williams, my best friend, had kind of asked me at one point when I was trying to figure out, what do I want to be when I grow up? She said, well, if you could do anything, what would you do? I'd be like, I want to work with Susan. And that was years before I actually worked at the chamber. Now I do. So I wanted to come to a place where, that felt like home. I had family nearby. I love nature. You can't beat it here. Now, in the middle of winter, I might get a little.
That's why I take a vacation.
Yeah, let's take a vacation. But yeah, gosh, the 9 months of the year, it's absolutely incredibly beautiful here. And so that played a big part of coming back here as well, the nature. And then just, being part of a community and building community. I had kind of done a lot of different things in my life, but there wasn't anything really steady or stable. I had great community that was temporary, whether it was my friends, in China, or, when I was doing Trek America and touring, I kind of had a group of the other tour leaders that you connected with, but, they came and went. So I really wanted to build something, and have a community where I knew people. And now I can't go anywhere without seeing people I know, whether it's running on the trail. Well, I don't run. I hike, briskly hike. Whether it's, out on the trails or at Walmart or walking down the street. I love seeing people I know and finding out, how people are connected, and then inviting, other people that might be on the outside, inviting them in to be part of that community. So really just building community is what ultimately brought you home.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a very similar story. And I've talked about it on here a couple times, so I'll keep it brief, but, I was touring with a band from essentially the day I graduated high school until COVID. So I had never been back here, and I had never really planted roots. And coming back to Titusville and realizing I get to be with my family. Yeah. I met Bob, started working here, and this has been the highlight of my life so far. I've seen a lot of cool things that are still highlights, but this is hands down one of the most exciting things I've ever been able to be a part of, and seeing this place grow. And it's funny how half the time I'm working behind the bar, or I'm on this podcast, or we're booking a band I'm really excited about. It gives me the excitement I have being on stage. Yeah. So sometimes I miss being gone, but sometimes I'm glad I'm not in the UK and I'm back here again. So it's very cool. So I definitely, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So.
We can always take vacations. We can always take trips, but ultimately, people want to be, home or somewhere that feels like home. So, we can have the best of both worlds, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Especially when I started down here, those guys convinced me. They were like, "Hey, you should start working down here." And I was like, "I don't really need another job," but for me, it's not, I don't even consider it a job or anything. It's been so much fun working at this place, because you think about it, it's the people in here that work here. They're great friends. Then all the people you meet, like the other day for the solar eclipse, we had people from Virginia.
There was someone from someone from Tennessee was the farthest I heard, which is unbelievable.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But like any given weekend down here, you'll get people come in. "Oh, we're from Altoona. We're from Pittsburgh," and yeah.
It's a destination. And I apologize, Danny. When I was talking about coming on here, I was like, I know Mason works there, but Danny, I don't think he works there. I think he just hangs out there a lot, because I knew you had another job. So I didn't know you were actually like an official employee, or if you just hang around a lot.
Well, like I'll bartend here and there.
Okay.
So I don't want to work all the time.
He's got his own cocktail.
I see the
He's got
neon
his own.
sign.
That wasn't my idea. That was the girls' idea. So
he's got his own theme song now too.
Cool.
Which I don't think the internet's ever going to be allowed to hear, but
maybe I can hear after we stop recording.
It's called Mason Has Too Much Time on His Hands.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, but yeah, it really, you guys and Bob have done an amazing job. This is a destination, and that's one thing I think people take for granted. You get into your routines, and you think, oh, there's nothing to do here. Well, follow me around for a couple of weeks. I'll wear you out, because there's so much to do here. Trying to schedule things with my friends. I'm like, how about the end of May? Like, I don't know when I have another free day. There's so much happening. You guys last week trying to schedule, I had something every night last week, but there's so much to do in this area. You guys have made this such a destination. Titusville has really had gone through so many changes and developments. You can spend the whole day hanging out here. If you come, from out of town, but, we see people coming here, moving here from out of state, out of town. We're seeing that, at the chamber with a lot of the businesses that we have. They're getting a lot of customers and clients that are moving here from other places. And then, on the weekends, people are coming to visit, in Oil Creek State Park, look in the parking lots, and all the license plates are out of state. I just saw one yesterday. And so people come here for a reason. So for those of us that are lucky enough to live here, we want to make sure that we're really appreciating that and finding, you might have to look a little bit, right, to see what's going on and have to decide which thing you want to do, because sometimes there's a lot of different things happening. But
I think you guys got to take that invite up. Follow Kat around for a few days and see where she wants to go.
We've got a lot of good stuff, happening, a lot of cool things.
So I want to give you the opportunity too. Is there anything you're excited about in the Oil City area coming up that maybe people from Titusville or other areas might not know about?
I live in Oil City, and so there's a lot of development happening there. Of course, the bank building 100 Seneca is a big project. I can see it from my office. So, that's really exciting to see the things that are happening there. And, of course, we got the side hustles out here. I'm not a representative for side hustle, but
shout out to Little Emo.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'll know what we're talking about if he watches this. Jeff.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Yeah. So, we're seeing, some new businesses come and some development there. The Lyric Theater, an old vaudeville theater. My great grandma, actually, I was walking down the street, ran into somebody I know, one of the guys that's working on that project. My grandma and my great aunt used to go to shows there when they were little girls, and they're totally renovating that theater. They're really close, if not all the way. They've raised a couple $1 million to renovate that historic theater. So downtown Oil City is going to look totally different. PennDOT's doing a big project. It's going to be a little bit of a mess this summer, the bridge construction, but we're excited about how nice it's going to be when that's all done.
No Bridge Fest this year, is there?
I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. So the Oil City Main Street does Friday night, and the Arts Council does Saturday night. I'm not sure what their plans are for that Oil Heritage Festival. So that's our event. We're going to have to pivot a little bit, move some things around a little bit for that. I know Susan and Tessa are at the council meeting tonight talking about that. But yeah, so there's so much development happening. And of course, nearby, I'm part of Venango. We love all of Venango. Emlenton is blowing up. There's so many cool things happening in Emlenton. Go spend the day there, get some great food, great drinks.
I've been wanting to get down to that brew house.
Yeah. They've got a cool coffee shop next door. There's a little winery and ice cream store there as well. Some good places to eat. So that's going on. And of course, in Franklin, Liberty Street is always amazing, always beautiful. My sister's there running the kitchen at Trails, so I always love going in and bragging about that. My sister is Tori, so that's great. They got good food, good drinks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's always incredible things happening in the oil region.
Is Sheffield in Venango?
No, that's in Warren.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I was
we don't need to talk about Sheffield.
I was gonna give a shout out. Where'd we go that one time?
I didn't remember the bar we were at.
Oh, it's great. If you're in Sheffield, go there. We'll think of the name.
The
eventually.
Lee House.
Oh yeah, go there. It's fantastic.
More like a haunted house, but
But anyway, that's incredible to hear about, and it's true. There are so many cool things happening in this area.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, it felt a little bit like this entire region was kind of fading out, and in the last, I would say 3 years even, there has been a lot of business come into the greater area. Things have been great. It's a great place to visit. So if you're watching from out of the oil region and you've never been, there are so many cool things to do. You can make an entire weekend out of it because all of these towns are really close together. They're all 20 minutes away from each other. You can do one day in Titusville. You can do one day in Franklin. You can do one day in Oil City. You can do one day in Emlenton, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I haven't personally been, but that's
you definitely
that's awesome.
can. You definitely can. They got some great stuff there.
Yeah. So guys, definitely make the trip because it is a lot of fun here.
Absolutely.
And
one of our newest members, Josephine's Bed and Breakfast, right up the hill from here. You got a cool place to stay, an old fly fishing shop, I think it was. And now,
that's right, past the old Dairy Queen.
Yep. Now they got some nice rooms up there, and so
very cool.
We got lots of lots of different Airbnbs with really cool vibes. I mean, I know Bob's got some really cool places as well.
Does.
So be sure to check that out. Find a unique place to stay, and I would say not only for people who aren't from here to come be a tourist here, people that are from here come be a tourist. You said yourself you haven't been to Emlenton, and how many people say, oh, I haven't. I do once in a while, if you can believe it, encounter people who said I haven't been to Titusville Ironworks. Well, absolutely go check it out. Go kind of off your general routine, go somewhere new, try something different. Take a friend. You probably gonna run into somebody anyway, because we're all connected in the region, right? So whether you're from here or not, you can kind of make a whole adventure out of it. It's a great place to be.
Absolutely. Yep. And I always end these episodes with asking the guests, if they have been here, what was your first impression when you had walked in the ironworks?
My very first impression, I have to go back years ago because how long has Bob been doing this?
So we did our very first pop-up, I believe it was 2019.
That was when the Airstream was where the stage was.
I was there. That was so, and I think this part was still Days Inn or somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I remember walking in the doors over that way and coming through like this hallway, probably where we are now, right?
Yep,
where
right back behind us back there.
Yeah, there was
gates.
Yeah, so there was a museum kind of feel to it. Then there was the Airstream, and that was wild, seeing an Airstream inside a building, and then all of the old signs and everything, just walking in and thinking, what is this place? It's amazing. And then just today, even when I walked in, I was like, oh, that's new, that's different. So I have my first impression from back then, but it's like you get a new first impression every time, because it's always changing. It's always different. There's always something new to see. And, adding it, the bathtubs, of course, the fireplace bathtubs just always stand out in my mind because how cool is that? But
we're talking about doing fireplace urinals here soon too.
cool.
I was wondering why all those urinals out back.
I'd love to see how that works. Yeah. But I guess, what it is now, the impression is, how do you even describe what it is? Is it a bar? Is it a restaurant? Is it a music venue? Is it a museum? Is it a, event center? Is it, an Airbnb? What, there's so much to it. It's an experience.
It's a hodgepodge of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You can get a little taste of anything you want here, which is cool.
It's a place to be.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's a destination and an experience.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I even get what you're saying about it changing and there's a new experience, because even for me, I come in every day and half the time something's different when I walk downstairs in the morning. Yeah. So yeah, well, Kat, I just want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today. This has been
really appreciate it.
Really awesome.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be part of it. I love what's going on here, and so the fact that I get to be a part of it, I'm so thankful. I'm excited to be on the show today and get to talk to you guys. So thank you.
So to this camera right here, anything you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Well, I would just shout out venangochamber.org. So go to our website if you want to connect with some of the things that I've been talking about, or, you're looking for, one of our partners or one of our members. We're happy to make connections and, just share more about why we love the oil region and why, we want everybody to be here.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And everyone, I just want to remind you, we will be open. This is coming out on Friday, so we're open today from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. We have Touch of Grey Trio playing from 7:30 to 10:30, and they specialize in music by the Grateful Dead. So if you are a Deadhead, make sure you make it out for that. And on Saturday, so tomorrow, we have Blue Morning, which is the Foreigner tribute. Tickets are still on sale for that one. You can get them online right now. If you get them online, they're going to be discounted because they are $5 more at the door. $5 more. So get them online right now. You'll save $5. All right. And that is going to be an incredible show. And Jeff Powell will be opening that. And don't forget, the Magic Bus kitchen inside the building will be open both days. So you can get food right here at the Ironworks. So we can't wait to see you. And I just want to thank everybody for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.